So we're right in the middle of Canaan Valley, and specifically we're at the Freeland Run tract that's owned and managed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Canaan Valley National Wildlife Refuge.
And Canaan Valley has a base elevation of 3,200 feet. Some of the mountaintops go up above 4,200. That means Canaan Valley is very cold and very wet, and therefore species that normally are northern in range can actually survive here. So balsam fir, which typically you would find in Canada or in the northern U.S., can actually survive here in Canaan Valley.
This particular species has been isolated from its main populations for so long that it's actually started to adapt to its local climate and essentially become its own species. And it's one of the things that makes it such a high-value conservation target, especially in the light of climate change. We really think that this tree might have conservation value going forward just from its genetic material. So one of the main threats to Canaan Valley fir is just habitat conversion and loss. So that's where entities like the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Nature Conservancy come into play by putting these areas into conservation. But once they're into conservation, that's not the end of the story. One of the other major threats to these Canaan Valley fir is a non-native invasive insect called the balsam woolly adelgid. It's a small insect that was introduced to the U.S. in the early 1900s and has essentially spread all across the United States. And the species can be very destructive, like it has been in the Smoky Mountains National Park, where it's wiped out over 75% of the native Fraser firs there.
We don't want a Christmas tree farm to be the only place that a person can go to see Canaan fir. We want to protect these trees in the wild, and we want to protect the habitats and the species that depend on them.
So as a consumer, there's many different things that you can do to try to help protect our native forests. One is buy a local native tree. We think that real trees provide many benefits to the environment, and there's many reputable dealers out there to choose from. Whenever you're actually out looking at trees, inspect the tree. You're probably not going to see the insect on the tree, but you can look for signs of the insect. You can look for browning and yellowing of the needles. You can look for, is the tree pliable? Can you bend it? That's one indicator that the tree is healthy and is insect-free. We think, just like the local food movement is catching on, we think that the local tree movement should be integrated into your thought processes as well when choosing how to buy your tree. So if you can go to a farm, choose your own tree, tie it on top of your car, and take it home, that's one of the best things that you can do.